clown virgins, clown virgins. We're getting together to make the world better. Clown virgins, clown virgins. We'll make you laugh and play, we'll take your blues away.
Today's a provocation. You guys asked me, do you want to do a provocation? I'm known for provoking. It's my way of clowning. And what does it mean? I gave you a whole sheet with a title, and then you put the title provocation. I said, no, it's a fundamental question. You changed it, then you put it. So it's funny, this idea of trying to get things right, trying to define things into words, trying to come up with something to propose that will bring people into some common space, hopefully into some agreement or into some disagreement, or into some space where you're feeling. And there's someone said their body felt vibrant and glowing, or you felt aware of the room around you. Yes, 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 to all that. Me, I'm a goofball. I don't know, a professional weirdo. I don't know if people say clown or fool or something, but I'm an actor, yeah. Since age 7, I'm making theater, dance, mask work, mime work, physical theater, comedy, clown. What does it mean? So today's provocation that I thought I would like to share, because it really helped me after spending 30 years racking my brain trying to explain what all this was about. It occurred to me spontaneously in a hotel in Germany when I was on tour. And I thought I would share it with you because I think as a warm up for the final day and wherever you go after this, what session you go into, it might be interesting. And coming off of Peter's work, which Peter and I haven't met yet, but I'm very, of course, fully aware of his work. And he's one of the finest practitioners on the planet at the time. So I can say remotely, without knowing him in person, that if you have a chance to study with Peter, I would grab it and run and do it. Because you can see in a short time, I can see by your comments how electrifying these techniques can be and are with all of you. Okay, the provocation, what is it? I was asked to write a chapter for a book after our Congress of Clown in Monte Verita a few years ago. Hillary was there. I see her here somewhere. Richard Wahey asked me to contribute a chapter. And I titled that chapter, The Fundamental Question. And within the chapter, he gave me the requirement as a practitioner to define what is clown, right? And this is a question that, of course, lots of people ask us through the years, and it's a term that can mean lots of things. Some people put a plastic nose on, they go into a hospital in some old clothes, and they call themselves clowns. And it's not about the costume or the clothes, but they defined it. Other people go into circus, they put a nose and makeup and hop around with no nose, and they do something that's clown. Clown, 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 clown. In Latin America, the word is payaso, payaso, payaso. In Italy, it's pagliaccio. In Portugal, payaso. Something sounds similar to that. Words, blah, 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 blah. So it came to me, the best answer I can give, and this is not the provocation, but it's part of it, but what is clown? Clown is a word. And it's one of those special words that means a great deal to a lot of people. In many ways, it's ineffable. Like the word love or the word beauty. For some people, the word compassion. Maybe the word decency escapes some people, or empathy, or not being a total narcissistic, orange, crazy person. There are words that trigger in us, in our emotion and spirit, very powerful reactions. And I think clown is one of those. So as a word, which we imbue with so much importance, it becomes almost magical. People learn something, it's deeply personal, deeply pivotal in their development, and they covet, they hold all of that meaning of that word close, they hold it close to them. It becomes like a magic amulet. So when someone else addresses the term in a way that might contradict what is so magical about their personal definition, they become often triggered or defensive or worried or concerned or perhaps interested. So I thought, what is a container? If a word is a symbol, when we see it written or hear it, and it triggers our association with deep meaning, deep personal interest, then as a container would be, maybe I can show this as a container. Those who know the brands might know what this is. It's sold in the store as water. This one has some funky commemorative label. Some of you might recognize that as Wicked, a movie. Okay, a commemorative water bottle made of metal. Ooh. And we see a water bottle in its typical form, a plastic bottle with a label that says water on it. And if I ask audiences, people, what is that? They say water, a bottle of water, water. You buy it, you pick it out, you drink it. Never do we think, is it poisonous liquid? Is it Clorox? Is it vodka? Is it rum? We take it for granted because it's in a package that tells us what it is. So with clown, in many places, the package is what we study. The formation of the nose, the makeup, or the type of costume, the type of clown, its context. You go on stage, and then we expect what is going to be delivered to us. And when there's a contradiction, it's upsetting. The package doesn't, So I started as an observer as an actor, as a practitioner. I'm questioning. I don't care about the package. The package gets me close to the probability of what I'm looking for. What I want to know when I'm thirsty is there something in there that can quench my thirst? And some waters taste different than other water. This container has something to quench my thirst. It's different. What is it? Is it tea? Is it coffee? Is it anything? Is it pudding? Is it hot chocolate? It's very bad tasting instant coffee. So what we encounter within the container, that's the thing that matters. So taking that into consideration as a provocation of thought, that's the thing that the routine or the character or what we propose on the surface as a vehicle to deliver the essence of what we're delivering. That's the equation there. Now, sleeping in beds, which change all the time on tour from hotel room to hotel room, poses another question. Because when I'm dreaming, I have one sense of reality. I'm dreaming. I'm a big dreamer, so my consciousness is very alive when I'm dreaming. You were there, and we were on a big butterfly, and it was blue, and it had Lucy Sheffield's face, and the Lucy butterfly was flapping through a house. It was Barnaby's house, and everything's cool. Yeah, well, I remember. I can see that. And then Barnaby was playing ukulele and saying, "It's a clown virgins," and that's cool. Anything's possible in a dream. And then you wake up, and if we're flying on blue butterflies with Lucy's face, something is terribly wrong. Because in this side of our conscious state of existing, what we call reality, we're constantly facing problems, negatives, obstacles, trying to regulate, trying to keep everything in balance. So somewhere between this state of everything's possible, the mind is fully awake and the body's sleeping, to the body is fully awake and the mind is essentially sleeping, somewhere between these two realms is where the clown really lives for me. It can cross both realities. And we see that in a circus, where from behind a curtain at the bottom of the pista, at the bottom of the ring, come these kind of crazy things into the real space where the audience is, where our real world is. These imaginary things come into our world and go away again. There is this border between fantasy and the real. Okay. So, but when I wake up in a bed, the first thing I have to do is find a bathroom. I have to pee real bad. It's usually what wakes me up. So I have to get out of the bed. And imagine in my sleep, I'm imagining I'm in the bed of my grandmother 50 years ago. And the direction of getting off the bed maybe is different. Maybe I rush off this side, I fall out of a window on the 5th floor of a hotel in Germany somewhere. If I go off this way, I find the floor. Then where is the floor? How high is the bed? Is the floor far away or close to me? Then where is the lamp? Where is the light? Where am I going? What's the target? Where's the bathroom? Each time I'm in a different orientation, I have to immediately sort myself out to reach my destination. So it dawned on me, the fundamental question when I come into reality, when I come into conscious awareness, is not anything to do with why am I here or what's the meaning of life, or any of those conceptual things. It's quite simple. I open my eyes, my ears, my senses awaken, and I have to orient myself and where I'm going because I have some urgency to go somewhere. So the fundamental question is simple. Where am I? I have to have a starting place. I'm here. Where am I going? Why am I going? So something pulls my center of gravity, pulls my body into action, pulls me in some direction, up, down, changes my form. Something causes a transformation. And it's most simply driven by the question of where am I and what's calling my attention and what do I need? And I need to move something there or move something closer. Action happens because of this question of where I fundamentally am. So that's the first thing, provocation. What is this question of cloud? It's a big giant tree with tons of limbs and leaves and thousands of possibilities. Where am I? Why did someone get up and leave? Why do you leave? And the where am I is not only physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual. I'm offended. But when you hear a loud sound, do you go toward it, away from it? Do you ignore it? These reactions are honest, they're spontaneous. They have nothing to do with my ego, my name, my bank balance, my occupation, my age. None of that matters. It's fundamental, very naive. I can say very stupid in that it doesn't have answers before the fact. I'm not seeking a result. And fundamentally, what drives me into action? What brings me into action? Now, once I start acting, if I'm aware of my senses, I'm distracted. Then I start fighting this series of distractions. I start making decisions. That becomes more complicated. The next thing is when I'm sleeping, I'm fully awake. How many of you, and when you're asleep and having a dream, you have to pee real bad, and you know it, but you don't want to leave the dream, so you stay in the dream and hold it. Does that happen to anyone? No? You just let me get through this dream. And at some point, it's too bad you can't hold it anymore. You run to the toilet, and you come back and try to go back in the dream. Does that happen to anyone? Ever? Just me? How is it then that the physical urgency to pee, we're aware of it in the dream state, and we're also aware of it when we're awake? It's the bridge between dreams. It's what I call the PP principle. It's the bridge between dreams and reality. It's the bridge the clown can cross. Because we can go in the audience and bring a stranger through the magic curtain, change their costume, teach them a few tricks, and bring them on stage, and they do something with us. Whoa. We can cross anything in the real world, we can take it with us to the dream world, and anything from backstage, we can bring it into the real. We have this power to bring things back and forth between the reality of everyday life and the reality that's mysterious, the mystique of the imagined. And there's something really, truly powerful in that. Lots of talk of gestures and kings and social responsibility and social this. Wonderful. I'm interested in the lane that is adjacent, the pre-social of the child who hasn't been formulated or programmed about what is socially right or wrong. With some space where we don't have a social clue, or we're extra social. We jump out of this society and we play. And in those encounters, we define a new society. They all coexist. That's how we can go into a cancer ward and connect with a child with leukemia who's been laying in that bed for 4 or 5 years with little more than a hand gesture, little more than attention. Because someone mentioned yesterday in one of the sessions I was in about the space of attention. We look and they look at us, and there's something magical in the connection of the eyes. There's quite a difference between looking at and opening to receive information. In my simpler pursuit of understanding where I am, I take in, I receive. I open myself to receive everything around me. It's in that sensitivity that the world falls into me, that people feel comfortable to come, to fall in. We bring the attention of an audience, we bring the attention of the world to us by simply opening and letting it know you're safe here. I see you. We're not looking at, hi, I see you. Hey, I see you. Hey, you. That can be fun, but that's a social commentary. And I don't really see anything. I throw looks. We can do both together. We can define them as different things. Throwing things out doesn't inform me for this simpler question that gets toward a more embodied or a more immersive experience of where am I? What's happening? How am I vibrating? Because as a child or as anyone, if I see a steel pool of water, I can put my hand on it and it reacts, or I can throw a stone at it and maybe it bounces because it's frozen, or maybe it goes bloop, or maybe it goes blah, 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 blah. I'm curious how things in the world respond to my input. What amount of force, what amount of engagement can cause change or cause movement, change this fundamental perspective of where am I in relation to everything else. And that's pretty much the provocation I would like to leave. Where am I? What's happening around me? I'm not purely intellectual. There's a sensate intuitive aspect. Someone's looking at me. Someone doesn't like this. Someone likes this. Ooh, all of that information. And the question is, can we open ourselves to receive it? Is it threatening? Is it okay? Can you exist, as someone said, a lucid dreamer? Can you be lucid in both realities? Yes. Even awake, we can stimulate the delta wave. We can stimulate the theta wave. When we do that awake, we tend to call this person schizophrenic, or we call them a shaman. You know, the person who is a seer, who can see, all has multiple levels of consciousness, all alert at the same time. And let's just do this real quick because everyone can do this, right? This is how we can, this is a good little embodiment exercise. Do this. Can you do this? Now, can you do the opposites? Yeah, but don't go in. Just clack, clack. Just can you make the opposite shape as this one? So this is the spark and the opposite. Now let's do one of each. Now let's practice switching them. One and one and one. Or maybe we should do this first. And then we can do one and one. Right brain, left brain. Can you forget division? Can you let go of program? Can you do this? This is easy, right? Yeah. Let me do that at the same time. Yeah. And you can do the belly. You do the belly and move it right. Oh. Can you tick 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 frequency. Where am I? I'm a wave in the ocean of waves, right? I'm a drop of water in the wave. We're all drops of water. Considering this question of where am I, expanding it outward, I could say it's quite interesting because I can't be where Dan is right now, looking at his camera, seeing what he sees on the grid or on the individual speaker screen. I can't see his settings. I can't see what he sees. And if we're in real life, sitting across a room, I do not have the privilege of sitting where the audience is, looking at me, nor do they have the privilege of my perception of them. But we do have the convenience and the possibility that we connect, and that the space between us becomes radiant, that we connect through the space between attention and action. So it's something the audience sees. Oh, he should turn around right now because I see there's something behind. And you feel this urgency to turn, but you don't know why. You're trusted in turn, and there is, as Ira will often talk about, a quantum connection between the observer and what's happening. And we have the ability to tune into that in the same way, simply by being aware of where we are. not thinking ahead of where we're going, not thinking about patterns, not trying to be interesting, as Abner would say, but being interested. Something attracts your attention and you see it. That's it. Not to make any point, not to be special, but you see something. Something disappears and you don't know why. Something else can go. Ooh. The world is full of changing, moving things. They catch our attention. We spend all of our lives trying to regulate and focus and be under control. A clown gives us the liberty to let go of that control and be free and be in this wonderment of everything that's happening and be part of it, be aware of it. All these drops, all these screens are part of a one ocean. And I realize that I am one drop in this same ocean, that we are a shared humanity, that we are, in fact, the thing I'm trying to understand, the I I'm looking for is here in front of me. And I can only find it by being aware of my place in it. That's for me, to you, to provoke your thinking. So thank you very much.
Beautiful. Jef,
I changed my glasses.
change your
Have
glasses.
a nice day. Thank
Both
you.
at the same time. Thank you so much. I listening to you is always for me an enlightening experience, and quite a lot of it, I feel like I'm at sea and lost at sea, like, and I just have to relax. And I tell myself, it's okay. It's okay. I don't understand what Jef is saying right now. And I just let it go. And then at some point, you say something or you give me an image that just makes everything suddenly sort of click into place. And then it's like, oh, I understand what he's been saying for the last 5 or 10 minutes, even if I didn't understand it. So that, like, the PP principle is brilliant. I was like, oh, right, I get it. That's such a beautiful analogy, this half asleep, half awake, this way that things can transition between those two realities or those two worlds of this awake and dreaming state. And it's so like that transition between real life and the clown, or the world that we create when we're clowning, and how we have this ability to pull things, as you say, to move things between those two states. That's such a beautiful insight, and I'm gonna take that away with me.
You don't have to wear diapers. Just trust your image. Trust me.
I do think that problem is particularly a problem for men of a certain age, but well, I'll leave that aside.
I deal with it 4 or 5 times a night. The PP principle is real. It's real.
There ain't no place I'd rather be. You're lighter than the sun and the stars to me. Everybody's family at the Clown Virgin.